I think is just so important to grasp from Use It or Lose It is that you indicate yourself in this particular chapter that many people are still caught up in the posture of thinking that the matter is a function of interest rates. And you go on to say that anytime you can cut out the payment of interest to others and direct that same market rate of interest to an entity that you own and control, which is subject to minimal taxation, i.e. life insurance companies, which they themselves do pay tax, then you have improved your situation. Have you seen that very same phenomenon over your evolution with the process where people are still thinking that the matter is a function of interest rates?
That is a hard one to get out of people's heads. You just have to be patient with them, like Rosenberg says in Fish of the Last Notice the Water. You got to be patient with these people. You got to also face up that they may never learn. It's just like I told you about two of my grandsons that I don't think that they will ever learn.
So even the developer, the pioneer of this process experiences that within his own family.
But you see, they've been to college. You want some real pain? One of them's an engineer. He's been out of college 6 years. He has never had a job. Well, it's the craziest thing that ever came along. To trust those people with your money has got to be the weirdest thing that ever happened. That's the easiest money that the bureaucrats can get to. So that's part of the design of things that they know that if we get people to do this, that we've got a guaranteed place that we can rob. Several years ago, I was talking to one of the other guys here about being in Pocatello, Idaho, a number of years ago doing a seminar, and I was pointing out how dangerous it is to have money in a tax-qualified plan. For instance, maybe at 35 years, I forget, and I need to go look it up. Brazil went out in the boonies and built a new capital city, Brasilia, from scratch. You can Google it, Anyway, where did they get the money to do it? They confiscated all the reserves on pension plans and so forth. Yeah. And I said, to follow that up, Argentina did the same thing. Oh, God is good. There was a young man in the group that grew up in Buenos Aires, and he piped up and said, every 5 years. Fund builds up, gotcha. Fund builds up, gotcha. They can't stand the shit get too big. They got to go spend it somehow. They invent some kind of tragedy of some kind. See, everything that goes on in capital cities, Ottawa's the same way. It's fear-based. Everything is fear-based. In fact, I'm leading a movement to change the name of Washington, D.C. to the Fear Factory. They create a problem, and then they present a solution to solve the problem they created. And the pattern is that you guys do have a copy of Pattern for Federal Takeover Your Business, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was 30 years old at that time, But Tate Trussell saw that thing perfectly, the author of that article. To tell you, a few years ago, Mary and I looked him up. Paul Cleveland helped us and so forth and found him. He's retired up in eastern side of Lake Michigan and whatnot. And he was startled to get my phone call and so forth. And so we had things to do in Michigan, and so we made an appointment to have a cup of coffee with him at his home and so forth. That was fun. But the pattern is there. And here's another thing that is always there. The guys that come up with these harebrained ideas always come from wealth of some sort. One of the things that Tate cited in the article, Pattern for Federal Takeover Your Business, that the first U.S. forester was Gifford Pinchot. He predicted in 1907 that within 2 generations that America would be without timber. It'd all be gone. We'd be the Sahara Desert. There's more timber than when DeSoto came through here 300 years ago. But there is wealth. All right, so I'm going to tell you in one more thing. Y'all ever heard of a woman named Mary Pinchot Meyer?
I think I've heard you mention her name before, yes.
all of a sudden I can't think of Meyer's first name. He was the head of CIA. He was married to Mary Pinchot Meyer. Mary Pinchot Meyer was a classmate of JFK. Meyer and his wife divorced. She was the favorite mistress of JFK. She was murdered on a walk in Washington, D.C. shortly after JFK was murdered. There's a connection between JFK, RFK, Marilyn Monroe, and Mary Pinchot Meyer that people don't know about. But invariably, you'll find somebody with a bunch of money involved.
Right. And you even say that you'll find yourself engulfed in confiscatory taxation if you're the least bit effective at accumulating wealth.